Hello, everybody. It is the coaching corner time. I am so happy to be back. I was on vacation. I was on a cruise. I made a post about it. Had a great time. Great time. But I'm so happy to be back with all of you. Okay? I'm so happy to be back with all of you. All right. And as you know, it is the coaching corner. Please let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know the city that you're tuning in from. And listen, tonight, I can't wait to get into it because I'm gonna be teaching a little bit, just a little bit. Tonight's topic is most SPED departments don't need more training, they need C.O.R.E. You may be wondering, like, well, what the heck is C.O.R.E? I'm gonna tell you what C.O.R.E is, but before I jump into that, I'm going to need you to share out this live with as many people as possible. So share it out with your teachers, your admins, your networks. Share out this live. And as I'm telling you to share it out, I'm sharing it out as well. So yes, I was on a cruise, went to Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Turks and Caicos. So I had an amazing time. And you know what I really missed the most? I didn't have to cook. I did not have to cook, so I miss having meals prepared for me. I'm just sitting, flipping through the menu and telling somebody what I want. Sheesh, I miss that. Oh, I gotta, I gotta get that. I gotta get that in my life because yes, that was great. All right, and I hope everyone is staying hydrated, drinking your water, minding your business. Yes, all those things. All right. And let me make sure we are good to go on TikTok as all right. Okay, so we are on TikTok. Let me make sure we are live. Yep, I think we're good to go. All right, yes. So, and we have a lot of new followers. We have a lot of new followers. So, for those of you who are new to the Coaching Corner, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Jamila, aka the IEP Coach, and I am the founder and CEO of the IEP Coach LLC. And what we do at the IEP Coach is we support schools with broken special education systems and help them stay out of litigation. Okay, so we fix the broken systems so that way they don't end up in litigation. And also, we support new schools build their special education system so that they don't end up in lawsuits. Okay, so that is just a little bit about us at the IEP Coach, and we go live every Tuesday 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about all things special education. So if you ever have a topic and you're like, hey, I would love for the IEP Coach to talk about this topic, you can definitely send us a DM. You can email us and we will make sure we put it in our rotation, put it on our calendar so that way we can talk about that particular topic. All right. So we are good to go. Are we live? Share. Here we go. Here we go. Share. Here we go. All right. So there we go. All right. So yes. So again, welcome to the Coaching Corner. As questions come to you, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Someone from my team will make sure that I see your question so that way I can answer your question. Because after we talk about our topic, we always do live Q&A. So whatever question you have, it could be about what I was talking about, or it can just be a SPED question that you have. Does not matter. We make sure we answer your questions. This is the one place that you can go and get your question answered right on the spot. Okay? Alrighty. Let's get into it. All right. So again, most SPED departments don't need more training. They need C.O.R.E. And you're wondering, like, well, what is C.O.R.E? Okay. So C.O.R.E is our trademarked framework that we use at the IEP Coach LLC. Everything that we, all of our trainings, all of our resources that we create, it is embedded with this framework C.O.R.E. Okay, and so a lot of times when we get inquiries from schools, we get inquiries from administrators, and they always want to do PD, always want to do PD, and it's like, you don't need PD. You don't need PD. And your SPED team is drowning. It's not because they need PD. You don't even know what you need the PD for. You're just saying PD. But more PD won't fix your problem. Okay? And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. More PD will not fix your problem. Okay? Because a lot of times you guys have a systems problem. PD, when you do PD is professional development. When you do professional development, you're teaching a skill. Okay? So it's not always a PD problem, a skill problem. It's you lack systems. And you're PDing your team to death. And you PD them to the point they get burnt out. And it's like, okay, I'm learning these skills, but what do I do? What's the system here? What's the protocol? What's the system? And that is what is missing. And when I tell you, every administrator we talk to, it's always, oh, we need PD. It's like, my team is behind in IEP. So it's like, okay, we're going to schedule an IEP writing workshop. But then it's like, well, but then after that, then what? Or my team isn't consistent with collecting data. And it's like, okay, you can do a progress monitoring PD. Then what? Then what comes after that? Okay, or it could be, well, my team is having problems with their IEP meetings. The IEP meetings are chaotic. And then you do a PD focusing on how to do an IEP meeting. But then again, then what? What comes after that? What's next? And the reason it doesn't work, again, PD teaches skills, and your problem is systems. Okay? A well-trained teacher without a system will get burnt out. Okay? So it is very important that you focus on your systems. Okay? Because the more training you do on top of broken systems or non-existent systems, you are going to exhaust your team. Because they're like, what do we do with this information, with these skills? Okay? You don't have a knowledge gap, you have a structure gap. All right? And this is what C.O.R.E gives you, okay? So let me tell you, hand you the framework, all right? So C.O.R.E consists of 4 pillars. You have clarity, you have organization, you have review, and you have execution, okay? That is C.O.R.E. Our trademark framework is C.O.R.E. Everything we do is embedded in C.O.R.E. Okay? Now, I'm going to walk through each pillar to give you a breakdown of each one so you understand why each pillar is important, what it needs, what breaks when it's missing, and how to tell if your pillar, how to tell if this is the pillar in your department that is missing. All right. So first, we have C for clarity. That is the first pillar. Okay. This is where the real work starts. Okay. This is where it all starts. Clarity. Okay. You need to know the state of your department. And that's what clarity gives you. And this is often an area where a lot of teams will skip it. It's like, oh, okay, I'm clear on what we have trouble with. But it's like, have you really ever really got down to the nitty gritty and really audited your systems, really audited your IEPs, really audited your meetings, really audited your progress monitoring system, like whatever it is you're doing, have you really audited it? Audited the caseloads. Okay? And this is what the clarity does. You look at everything and you collect the data. What is working and what's not working. That's basically what clarity will do for you. Okay? So you're basically getting honest about what's broken and what's not broken in your special education department. Okay? Because this is pertaining to your department. All right? That's basically it. Clarity lets you know what is working and what is not working. Okay? Now, what breaks when clarity is missing? Okay? So think of if you don't have clarity, think of someone going in blindly fixing something. You ever be working on something and then somebody comes and just start doing stuff? They didn't ask what's going on, what's the problem, what are we doing here, what's the ultimate goal? They just start doing stuff. That's what happens when you don't have the clarity. Okay? So this is when you start fixing symptoms instead of the root cause, when you don't have clarity. When a leader makes a plan without data to back it up, you don't have clarity. Nobody knows what's actually working versus what's broken. You don't have clarity. Okay? This is what happens when you don't have clarity. Okay? Now, how can you tell the clarity is missing in your school? You cannot name the top 3 things, the top 3 compliance risks that you have. You don't know your caseload distribution right off the top of your head. If your audits are like informal conversations with your team, then listen, clarity is missing for you. You have a clarity problem. If you can't answer direct information about your department and about the systems that you do have, you're missing. Clarity is missing. Clarity is missing, and that's the first thing you need to work on. You really need to audit everything. Okay. And here's the number one. If something goes wrong, it's not like, I don't know how that happened. You definitely have a clarity issue. Absolutely. You have a clarity issue. Okay. And now we're going to go on to organization. O for organization. All right. This is where leaders want to start. Okay. So you got clarity. Then from clarity, we go to organization. So organization, this is where you build your systems, or I want to say build the systems, fix the systems, okay? If you're a new school, building your systems. You're already a school in operation, you may be fixing systems, or you could be building some new systems that you didn't have, that you found out that you need, okay? All right, so now, when it comes to organization, we are not dealing with everything living in one person's head. Absolutely not. Okay? We're looking at caseloads that actually reflect an actual workload, building that. We're actually building, okay, what is the parent communication system that we're going to have? Okay? Not just depending on the mood you're in, if you want to talk to parents or not. What are the workflows going to be like? What are they going to look like? How often are we going to do it? Okay? So, like, what's the workflow when you get a new staff member to your team, or someone leaves? What does the workflow looks like? So these are all different types of systems that you build in organization. Okay? Now, what breaks when you don't have the organization, when it's missing? This is when you got that one person on your team that knows all the things. If you just got that one person on your team that knows all the things, you have an organization problem. Because the moment they get burnt out, they get sick, or worse, they quit because they burnt out. Everything left out the door with that person. Okay? If this is how you know organization is missing, if every workflow depends on that one person. Okay? If your documentation is inconsistent from teacher to teacher, if your implementation of your so-called system is inconsistent from teacher to teacher, you have an organization problem. Because with the system, it's a stream. You streamline it so that way is you don't have one teacher doing one thing and another teacher doing another thing. No, everybody knows this is the workflow that we're going to follow. These are the protocols that we're going to follow. This is the system that we will follow when we are doing IEP meetings. This is the system that we follow. These are the protocols that we must do. When we're collecting data, progress monitoring, this is how we are going to collect it. This is where we're going to store the data. This is how we're going to analyze the data. This is how we're going to make data-driven decisions. It is a system. Okay? If you only got one person who can do all that, you have an organization is a huge problem for you. All right? And here's another one. Compliance is scrambled. You don't even know what is what in your department. You have an organization issue. And you're missing organization. Okay? All right? Because under no circumstances should everything live in just the SPED leader's head or your one strong person. Under no circumstances should it just all be on that one person. Okay? If you can't find things, organization is missing. Okay? So, a system is the difference between you saying, I hope this don't happen again, and we've designed it so this won't happen again. We built this system so that this does not happen again. And not off I hope it doesn't happen again. Okay? All right. So we did clarity, we did organization. Now we're going to go into review. And review is very important. It's the third one. Now this is one that a lot of schools, it's like, okay, I know what I need to do. I know what we need to build. We build it. Okay, you got your systems. Okay. But oftentimes, a lot of schools, they never go back to review the systems that you have created. You don't just create them and go on about your business. No, you have to create them and then make sure that they're working the way you designed them to work. So you have to do review. That's the third one. You have to do review. And this is what separates departments from being compliant on paper and being compliant in real life. Okay? So review is when you have regularly structured like check-ins. Regularly structured check-ins, like, hey, you can have a team department meeting, tell everybody to bring the an IEP that they're working on, and you can review all the IEPs right there at that meeting, and you can see, hey, are you actually following the system we have for writing IEPs? If you want to check to make sure that your team is following the system you created for having IEP meetings, attend those IEP meetings. You'll be able to tell if they are following the system or not. Okay? This is how you can see if things are working. Progress monitoring. You could call another meeting or schedule a meeting with your teacher and just say, hey, I want you to bring all your progress monitoring data. We're going to review it at the next meeting. This is you consistently having review check-ins to make sure the systems that you put in place are actually doing what they're supposed to do. And then if they're not, this is the place where you will fix that. You will see like, okay, what the problem is. Like you can see like, okay, I see you are doing this part very well, but here's the area you need some support, and you give that support. Okay? You can do data collection audits. You can do IEP writing audits, IEP quality reviews, IEP meeting audits, If you got questions about how they're facilitating the meetings, you could do meeting facilitation reviews. Review is basically you checking to make sure they're following the steps. They're following those steps you put in place. Okay. Okay. And this is how you can see, hey, are you really servicing students? Or are you just checking off some boxes? Are you really building community with parents? Or are you just checking off that you met with them? You know? Okay. And it's very important that schools do review, because sometimes they don't do review until they get hit with a compliance audit, or it could be a due process hearing or something like that, or a complaint from a parent, or they bring in a lawyer to complain. That's when they want to review everything. But it's like, no, when you consistently review, you stay on top of your school. You stay on top of the systems in your school. You are consistently reviewing those things to make sure that so you can catch it before it turns into a lawsuit, or before it turns into a huge complaint. Okay? Now, here's how to tell if review is missing. You can't remember the last time you reviewed IEPs, your team's IEPs. You can't remember the last time you sat in on a meeting to see how it was being facilitated. You can't remember the last time you checked to see how your teachers are actually collecting data. And I want to say, better yet, not even just collecting data, how often are they doing it? Are they doing it consistently? Are they analyzing the data consistently? If you can't answer that, you have no review. You're not reviewing anything. You're not even practicing review. Okay? Systems without review will rot. It's one thing to build a system, but then the other part is to review it. Make sure that it's working. Just like you have your car. Your car is the system. If you don't take care of it to make sure it can keep running, your car will break down. If you stop giving it gas, if you're not taking it to get a tune-up, if you're not getting oil changes, if you're not getting your tires rotated, if you're not reviewing it to give it the care that it needs, it's going to break down. Systems are the same way. If you don't review it, it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work the way it should. Okay? And last but not least, pillar number 4 is execution. This is where the whole thing will live or die, okay? So you got your clarity, you got your organization, you got your review, and the last piece is your execution. So execution is people using the systems that you built, following the steps that you put in place to run that system. Okay? So you have your IEP meeting system in place. Excuse me, let me use progress monitoring as a better example. You have your progress monitoring system in place. Execution is your team actually following all the steps to do the progress monitoring. Everybody is collecting data the same, analyzing data the same. Everyone knows the place to put the data. Everyone knows the probes that are going to be used to collect the data. Everybody has a set schedule on when they are collecting data and analyzing it. Okay? So you're getting your progress monitoring is being done consistently. IEP meetings are being done with fidelity and facilitated well. IEP writing, your IEPs are clear. You got your SMART goals. You have strong present levels. You are following the steps. Your team is basically exhibiting the behaviors to run your system well. Okay? All right. And this is how you know when execution is missing. You got these amazing systems, but nobody uses them. Or no one uses them consistently. You got all these binders full of templates. Nobody's using them. What you say to your team and what they actually do are two different things. You have no execution. Okay? A system that is not executed is just a document. That's just like you have the PD, but then you don't have coaching to go along with the PD. You need the action to go along with what you were just taught. Okay? Execution is where your systems become the results. Okay? Execution is where your systems become results. All right? So that is core. That is clarity. That's organization. That is review. And that is execution. Do we have any questions about core? Let me know in the comments now. Any questions about core? Any questions? Any questions? All right, you can take your time as you're putting those questions in, because I have some great, amazing news to share. As you all know, we had our first cohort for the SPED summer reset for June. And I am so happy to say that we are opening the doors for the August cohort today. So the SPED summer reset is open right now. Right now. 5 live days, 5 live training series, 5 days, August the 24th through the 28th. When I tell you it's about to go down again, it is about to go down. So for all of my new SPED teachers, I want to say years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you around that range, this is for you. The SPED summer reset is for you. You get our undivided attention for 5 days straight, August the 24th to the 28th, day 1. And this is not just a training where we're talking to you. No, you're actually creating that system. And day 1 on the 24th, we are focusing on your organization. Okay? That organization, making sure you have your system together for that. And we're going to give you something to help you get organized. Okay? Day 2, we're going to give you something to help you with your IEP writing, making sure you have your system in place on how you're writing your IEPs. Day 3, we're going to focus on IEP meetings, on your facilitation, making sure you have your system straight on how you're facilitating those IEP meetings. Day 4, we will focus on the progress monitoring system. Okay? Getting that together. How are you going to do that? When are you going to do that? Okay, and then last but not least, day 5, we are going to teach you how to use AI ethically and safely as a special education teacher to make your job easier. Okay, 5 days. And this is all on Zoom. You enroll, you get access to the replays. We have our VIP. We have our general admission at $497. We have our VIP at $997. You get general admission, so you get admissions to all 5 days. You get the workbook that we're creating for you, and you get our AI prompt library that we're creating for you. Now, that's general admissions. VIP, you get all that, and you get 3 30-minute one-to-one coaching sessions with yours truly, the IEP coach. And this is for those SPED teachers that want more attention, okay? But we have a school team license. So if you are a SPED leader and you're like, listen, my team needs this, we have a SPED team license for $29.97. And you can get up to 7 teachers enrolled in that. You get everything in the general admissions, and we will also do a private WhatsApp chat with just your school, and we'll do a debriefing with your school as well. Okay, so listen, we hitting everybody. Listen, general admission, you want more attention, or hey, listen, your school team, listen, go to your administrator. They got those Title II funds that they can use, ESSER funds that they can use. okay, to pay for you and probably others at your school who need this as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the comments. If you are viewing this on Instagram, the link is already embedded there, but I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the comments here. The SPED Summer Reset. Doors are open now. All right. The doors are open. Does anybody have any questions? All right. The SPED Summer Reset is open. Doors are open. Doors are open. So go ahead, take advantage of the SPED Summer Reset. If you have questions about the SPED Summer Reset, let me know now. You can also drop them in the comments as well. All right. All right, so I don't see any questions. If the questions come to you later, don't hesitate to send us a DM or send us an email asking your question. We are very responsive, okay? So, as always, be kind to yourself, stay hydrated, drink your water, mind your business. And remember, don't push past capacity, because once you do that, that is when you get burnt out, and that is not what we want. Give yourself grace and keep it going, okay? We'll see you all next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. next Tuesday. Have a good evening. Peace.